Mike Gardner, a host, unfiltered, unscripted, raw. Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. You came by the tens of millions to become part of a historic movement, the likes of which the world has never seen before. At the center of this movement is a crucial conviction that a nation exists to serve its citizens. Americans want great schools for their children, safe neighborhoods for their families, and good jobs for themselves. One by one, the factories shuttered and left our shores, with not even a thought about the millions and millions of American workers that were left behind. The wealth of our middle class has been ripped from their homes and then redistributed all across the world. This is with regard to the construction of the Keystone Pipeline. We'll see if we can get that pipeline built. A lot of jobs, 28,000 jobs. Great construction jobs. Since my election, we have created 7 million new jobs, 5 million more than government experts projected during the previous administration. The job surge that we're seeing right now is widespread. Leisure and hospitality added 1.2 million jobs. Construction jobs are up, listen to this, 464,000. Education and health services rose 424,000. Retail trade is up 368,000. And here's the one I like the best. Remember, previous administration, that you need a magic wand for manufacturing. Manufacturing, which we had up to 600,000 jobs prior to the plague, manufacturing rose to 225,000. We also unlocked our energy resources and became the world's #1 producer of oil and natural gas by far. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider. Embrace that label, because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. Never stop fighting for what you believe in and for the people who care about you. Carry yourself with dignity and pride. Demand the best from yourself and be totally unafraid to challenge entrenched interests and failed power structures. I want you to know that the movement we started is only just beginning. There's never been anything like it. The belief that a nation must serve its citizens will not dwindle, but instead only grow stronger by the day. As long as the American people hold in their hearts deep and devoted love of country, then there is nothing that this nation cannot achieve.
All right, guys, welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, of the show here. Welcome, guys. Do you miss Donald Trump yet? Wow. I mean, this video, literally, guys, is intense. Everything of what this great country deserves is no longer here, guys. We don't have strong borders. We don't have a culture. We don't have language. We don't have any of that stuff, guys. Yeah. The sound effects, guys, says it all. What you're seeing in this country, guys, is literally, destruction. Destruction at its core. Because literally, guys, the video that I just plugged into this podcast today, okay? Which thank you very much, producer Josh, for plugging it in. What a comparison. Just in almost a year, guys. Almost a year of the transformation between two administrations, two presidential administrations, between Biden and Trump. There is a huge comparison. What we are seeing today, guys, is destruction. Literally destruction. And guys, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Everybody says, "Oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better." Guys, it's terrible. What you're seeing right now is literally man-made destruction on a collision course by this current administration. And guys, I want to say it's gonna get better, but it's not. Because if I did say it was gonna get better, I would be lying to my audience, and I would be lying to my loyal followers that listen into this podcast on a daily basis. Because this is bad, guys. This is really, really, really bad. I was watching a few clips today. Producer Josh and I, we're kind of watching the clips that were just coming in from today, over the weekend, of just the collision course that this administration is taking us on. A wild ride, literally. The glass ceiling has been broken, guys. Literally. Has been broken. I want to plug in this one clip here of just what the hell is going on in this country. Literally. With everything. Let's start off with, guys, first of all, before I go into this first article here, we have a mixture of crazy, out of this world agendas of what the radical left is implementing. Okay, I want to get into the first article here with Senator Ron Paul. Literally pressuring Dr. Fauci, Dr. Doom, with the COVID agenda, the scenario. They keep on flip-flopping back and forth, this administration. Dr. Fauci keeps on flip-flopping back and forth with the COVID, with changing definitions on the website and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't. Now he said, you got to listen to this, guys. Now he's saying he does not take responsibility for this pandemic. Oh, he doesn't? Oh, he doesn't. Oh. Where did the original roots come from? Who was the main man when this whole thing started? Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's the main guy, guys. And you will never hear a truthful statement come out of this hack of a doctor. Check this out, guys. This is the original video that we're going to plug into. The original video that we'll plug in right here, guys. This is Dr. Fauci being questioned by Senator Ron Paul. You got to check this out, guys.
Patriot Unfiltered Raw.
You're saying that that's not gain-of-function research?
According to the framework
and guidelines.
So what you're
of
doing is
P3.
defining away gain of function.
No.
You're simply saying it doesn't exist because you changed the definition on the NIH website. This is terrible, and you're completely trying to escape
Right.
the idea that we should do something about trying to prevent a pandemic from leaking from a lab. There's the preponderance of evidence now points towards this coming from the lab, and what you've done is change the definition
Right.
on your website to try to cover your ass, basically. That's what you've done. You've changed the website to try to have a new definition that doesn't include the risky research that's going on. Until you admit that it's risky, we're not going to get anywhere. You have to admit that this research was risky. The NIH has now rebuked them. Your own agency has rebuked them. But the thing is you're still unwilling to admit that they gained in function when they say they became sicker. They gained in lethality. It's a new virus. That's not gain of function. Until you accept it, until you accept responsibility, we're not going to get anywhere close to trying to prevent another lab leak of this dangerous sort of experiment. You won't admit that it's dangerous, and for that lack of judgment, I think it's time that you resign.
Yeah, I think it is time for you to resign there, Dr. Anthony Fauci. I mean, folks, we're hearing flip-flop scenarios from this political hawk of a doctor. He's more of a politician than a fucking doctor. This is supposed to be a gentleman that literally directs the entire CDC operation for disease and virus control. This is what we're putting our faith into every single freaking day of this society. One man that dictates everything about COVID. Check more of this crap out, guys.
Today, to admit that you approved of NIH funding for gain of function research in Wuhan, but your repeated denials have worn thin, and a majority of Americans, frankly, don't believe you. Even the NIH now admits that EcoHealth Alliance did perform experiments in Wuhan that created viruses not found in nature that actually did gain in lethality. The facts are clear. The NIH did fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan, despite your protestations. You can deny it all you want, but even the Chinese authors of the paper, in their paper, admit that viruses not found in nature were created, and yes, they gained in infectivity. Your persistent denials, though, are not simply a stain on your reputation, but are a clear and present danger to the country and to the world. As Professor Kevin Esvelt of MIT has written, gain-of-function research looks like a gamble that civilization can't afford to risk. And yet here we are again, with you steadfast in your denials. Why does it matter? Because gain-of-function research with laboratory-created viruses not found in nature could cause a pandemic even worse the next time. We're suffering today from one that has a mortality of approximately 1%. They're experimenting with viruses that have mortalities of between 15 and 50%. Yes, our civilization could be at risk from one of these viruses. Experiments that combine unknown viruses with known pandemic-causing viruses are incredibly risky. Experiments that combine unknown viruses with coronaviruses that have as much as 50% mortality could endanger civilization as we know it. And here you sit, unwilling to accept any responsibility for the current pandemic and unwilling to take any steps to prevent gain-of-function research from possibly unleashing an even more deadly virus. You mislead the public by saying that the published viruses could not be COVID. Well, exactly no one is alleging that. No one is alleging that the published viruses by the Chinese are COVID. What we are saying is that this was risky type of research, gain-of-function research. It was risky to share this with the Chinese, and that COVID may have been created from a not yet revealed virus. We don't anticipate the Chinese are going to reveal the virus if it came from their lab. You know that, but you continue to mislead. You continue to support NIH money going to Wuhan. You continue to say you trust the Chinese scientist. You appear to have learned nothing from this pandemic.
Patriot Unfiltered.
Cleveland! Peter, you name-remembering son of a gun.
There's someone in the restaurant. He called me Archer. Maybe they think I'm somebody else.
Somebody who gambles?
When would I gamble, Linda?
Oh, thank God, it was just a dream.
Hey, Lois, what's that fat man doing in our bed?
We're all doing this, yes!
Possible perjury in a minor lawsuit. No sane person would find that impeachable.
Have you met Republican leadership?
Men like him, they ruin lives, and they get away with it.
Impeachment, American Crime Story finale. Tuesday at 10, only on FX.
All right, guys, welcome back here. Got a new report coming out of, regarding this whole COVID crap going on. Yes, COVID's still around, guys. As much as we think COVID's going to disappear, it's going to be a long time, guys. It's not going to disappear, as long as we have this Biden administration. Pretty much it's going to be around for a while, guys, sadly. To these Democrats, these radical left Democrats, this crisis is not going to go to waste. Literally, it's not going to go to waste. It's pretty much the only thing that they got going for them. Pretty much is this COVID. They're using it as a political weapon against the people, and we're seeing it unfold. This country is very, very fast becoming a socialist country, guys, and we're seeing it right in front of our eyes. This news story here, new report coming out of the headlines here. The Biden vaccine mandates could reduce Border Patrol agents by half. Yeah, get this, guys, right? I mean, that's a report credited to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Protection, also known as CBP, officials by Fox News shows that a number of Border Patrol agents who could be terminated under President Joe Biden's vaccine mandates could exceed 50% of the workforce. Yeah, this comes at aid and amid the record-setting apprehension of migrants illegally crossing the border from Mexico and other countries nearby. Fox News, guys, published a leaked document, right? They say came from a source within U.S. Customs and Border Protection, showing as many as 50% or more of the nation's Border Patrol agents could be terminated from their jobs under Biden's vaccine mandate. The report shows also a worst-case scenario whereby 11,000, get this, guys, 11,523 of the 19,536 current Border Patrol agents could face removal. The scenario assumes that the agents who have not yet responded to the vaccine survey have also not been vaccinated. Okay, their body, their choice, not the federal government's. Even though they're federal workers, guys, they are not Biden's, puppets. Biden is a president. He's not a god. He can't dictate people and command people to get this fucking vaccination. And as soon as this administration will figure this out, the sooner everything gets better. Biden is not a god. He's the president of the United States, and he needs to act as the president of the United States and not a freaking wannabe dictator. That's my own personal opinion, guys. My own damn personal opinion. Guys, we got a chart here of this, literally this article that we're reading here. Okay? Potential arbitration. Okay? Scenario 1, which comes from the BBA, is 1,130. Scenario 2, 3,084. Scenario 3, 11,523. Guys, there is current in that potential arbitration of possibly 25,800 firees. Yeah. Now, basically what I'm laying out here, guys, is basically vaccine requirement deadlines of all these different sectors, okay? And current hiring capabilities, there we go, Jesus. Yeah. Compatible has a 1,100. The Stretch has a 1,394, and the Challenge is 1,657. Okay? Now, for all these jobs, different scenarios, different sectors of the Border Patrol, okay, these are all facing, vaccine requirement deadlines, okay? Some of them have been vaccinated. Some of them have, if you want to use the words comply to the Biden vaccine requirements, and some haven't. Some chose to opt out of the requirement. And those, yes, a ping on that one, and those that have elected to opt out on the mandate could be facing termination under dictator Biden. So basically, you're going to take an agency that's already gone through an unbelievable pandemic crisis and a border crisis on our southwest border and deplete its resources further. And that's coming from the former CBP acting commissioner, Mark Morgan, which was interviewed by Fox News earlier this week. Morgan reportedly obtained the document pictured above, which was the chart that we just basically laid out here on the podcast, from a source inside the CBP. The report also says that the CBP laid out 3 scenarios regarding the officers who have yet to report their status. Now, guys, the vaccine mandate may not increase arbitration from the fiscal year of 2021, and that level scenario 1, in which case this agency would lose about 1,130 agents. Now, guys, this is dropping the force of 19,536 to roughly about 18,403. Alternately, the agents who have not yet responded will have gotten vaccinated at the same rate as those who have responded from scenario 2 of that chart. So the agency, guys, would lose roughly about 3,084 agents. Now, you're going to say that's kind of a lot of people that they're going to lose. Okay? Now, that's leaving the agency with roughly 16,452 agents, guys. And that is the amount of agents that we will depend on to protect our southwest and the rest of our southern border along Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, and some ports on the west coast of Florida, along with our Gulf states of Alabama, Louisiana, and the rest of the southern points of America. That's not very much, guys. Now, if you're questioning yourself, like, why would a president mandate a vaccine and give us a huge risk of losing all of our border agents? Well, that question remains highly questionable, guys. Highly questionable. Now, guys, this threat to fire unvaccinated Border Patrol agents comes as the agency is forced to deal with record-setting levels of illegal migration across the southwest border with Mexico. Now, during the fiscal year 21, a record-setting 2 million migrants were either apprehended by Border Patrol agents or escaped apprehension. Now, Breitbart, Texas reported in October, since that time frame, Now, since that time frame during the fiscal year of 21, right, a record-setting 2 million migrants were apprehended. And this is coming from a report that Breitbart Texas, literally, like I said, reported in October. And since that time, a CBP document leaked to Breitbart News shows nearly 160,000 migrants were apprehended by agents just last month in October. And 50,000 more guys were classified as gotaways. And I think you know what gotaways were, where pretty much they just kind of got away from, the apprehension point of that hunt, so to speak, right? Guys, we can't afford at this time, during the biggest crisis as far as border security goes, we can't afford to lose any of our employees. And this is coming from the National Border Patrol Council President, Brandon Jude. Said earlier in a virtual press conference with Senator Marsha Blackburn, representative Republican out of Tennessee. If we lose even a couple of those people, it's a couple too many as far as the border goes today. And I'm quoting this by the Senator Blackburn of Tennessee. Guys, we're seeing crisis after crisis after crisis with this administration. We are seeing failed policies, failed agendas, and no clear message to the American people under this failed, and I'll say it, failed administration. Be right back, guys, after these words. Don't go anywhere.
Patriot Unfiltered Raw.
The Eternals, a race of immortal beings who have helped guide humans throughout history.
What if I were an Eternal? Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that Geico has even more ways to save you money?
Oh, a talking lizard?
Car, home, motorcycle, RV. No, was it something I said? Best if I just leave it to the professionals.
See Marvel Studios' Eternals, only in theaters.
Get a...
All right, guys, back to the show. Guys, want to get into this next topic here. The coronavirus saga continues. Literally. And what a coincidence, right? What a coincidence that the far left now of this radical left media reporting this crap, this bullshit, that coronavirus death toll in Trump counties are 3 times higher than Biden counties. Wow, what a coincidence. It's such a coincidence and so weird. Like, why would it be high in Trump counties than Biden counties? The far left New York Times, guys, reports that the coronavirus death rate in Trump counties is 3 times higher than in Biden counties. Who writes this, Josh? Oh, the New York Times. Yeah, they're a bunch of crap. Yeah, we don't follow the New York Times. Yeah, ping on that one. Yeah, we don't follow the New York Times because they're crap. Literally, the Times, the radical left-wing New York Times, says it examined counties where former President Trump won by 60% or more and compared those 2 counties where his fraudulency Joe Biden won. Yeah, they used the word fraudulency. Joe Biden won by 60% or more. The results, folks, were striking, right? that this is coming from, and remember, guys, this is coming from the most popular president in American political history, Joe Biden, right? A man that has been in office for 40 plus years, hasn't done a damn thing for the American people. Failed policy after failed policy after failed policy, guys. It's crap. Crap. The report also says that in October, 25 out of every 100,000 residents of heavily Trump counties died from COVID. Oh, really? They died from COVID, huh? 25 out of 100,000, right? You want to do the math? Oh, okay. The math seems a little off, folks. It says more than 3 times higher than the rate in heavily Biden counties. Oh, why? How come they didn't die in Biden counties? What? Oh, guys, this is more of a political hogwash bullshit statement than anything else. Yeah. That 7.8 per 100,000 writes at the Times, October was the 5th consecutive month. Guys, this is between the death rates in Trump counties and Biden counties. I mean, just listen to this, guys. Some conservative writers have tried to claim that the gap may stem from regional differences and weather or age, but those arguments fall apart under scrutiny. Adds the Times. This is an actual article that the New York Times wrote. But if weather or age were a major reason, guys, the pattern would have begun to appear last year, right? In other words, this discrepancy, this wide gap in the China flu death rate between Biden and Trump counties did not appear before the vaccine came out on the scene. They just made this shit up. Literally, this whole article was created to cause diversion on a political scale. Guys, this whole crap is like literally it's everything about COVID, masking, social distancing, vaccine, it's all political. All political. Every little thing about COVID is political. And then they write here, as a result, COVID deaths have been concentrated in counties outside of major metropolitan areas. Whoa, you don't think? Because what's inside the inner circle of metropolitan areas? Who normally runs metropolitan areas? Inner cities. Democrats. That's a coincidence, huh? That the death rate would be a lot lower than the outside of the metropolitan areas. Folks, don't get me wrong. The coronavirus, whether it's a real or whatever, if it's a real disease, I understand. It's a disease. Just like any other disease, guys. It will pass. Okay? I mean, have we become a country, guys? We are where we're going to literally have media and left-wing nut jobs deliberate a hyper politicized weapon and use COVID as that and dehumanize and bully people that don't agree with their agenda? Have we become a country like that? Where we have to say, Trump supporters are really killing this country. Trump supporters are really causing division. Give me a freaking break. Seriously. Give me a freaking break. Jesus. You know, if it's one thing, it's another, guys. I mean, seriously. Like, I think the so-called doorbell, the so-called whatever you want to call it, has to come in place. It has to. I mean, people have to wake up. People have to wake up. It's time to wake up. Wake up. You don't even see kids outside playing anymore. You don't even see kids socializing anymore. You don't see any of that. We become a society where the media is constantly manipulating the hell out of us. And it's sad. When was the last time you heard sounds like this? Yeah, that's rare, isn't it, Mike? Yeah, very rare. You don't see any of that, guys. None of that. It's sad. It's sad we've become a country, literally, where nothing else matters anymore. Nothing matters. Everything is just, it's sad. It really is. It's becoming a country, literally, where we are literally on the break point of losing everything. I want to plug in a soundbite here, guys, that I had on my show here, PJ, last week, guys. I hope you tuned into that Patriot Brief November 4th show, guys. I want to plug this one little clip in here that when PJ was on my show, made a very, very good point, guys. Check this out.
The press corps out of the room that the president was speaking in, as he was speaking, mid-sentence, I have seen them say, let's go, and rush the press corps out. Jen Psaki, it was highly rumored during the campaign, not even since he's been elected, but during the campaign, that he would have more coherent days, which anyone who has dealt with any senior citizen with mental issues will tell you. They have days where they're very coherent.
Oh, yeah.
And she would allow Joe Biden to talk to the press, and then when he was incoherent, she would come out and say, hey, no Joe today. And because the American press, because the corporate media is a wing of the Democrat Party, they would accept it and they would go home.
Exactly. But I mean, this is Joe we're talking about. You know, if it was the other way around, PJ, if it was Donald Trump, you know, they would be like, impeachment. You know, they would find something. You know.
Well, look at the second term of Ronald Reagan. I still talk to people who will tell you he was in the throes of dementia toward the end of his tenure. He was babbling and incoherent. And I was a little kid at the time, but I watch video of him and I don't see a babbling, incoherent man at all. But I can imagine that would be on the news every night. Saturday Night Live would not shut up about it. Trevor Noah and John Oliver would be going off about it every single night, ad nauseum.
Oh, sure. I mean,
Patriot, unfiltered, raw. Mike Gardner, a host like no other.
Premium steak sauces, A1 thick and hearty steak sauce, and a creamy peppercorn sauce. This is one burger that needs two hands. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Gene, I think you sat on some googly eyes.
That's okay. I'm used to eyes on my butt.
Got buns.
Ready?
Buns? I'm nuts for butts.
Buns.
Teenage butts. Oh my god. So many butts, age 12 to 17.
Get some rest. We got a lot of work to do.
Yes, Santa. Celebrate the season with tech delivered fast and free from Best Buy.
This season is too big for just red and green. It's the holidays, and we're bringing all of the color. Ooh, this is lit. What's up, snow people? All of the color, all of the gifts. Happy holidays from Old Navy.
Airwick scented oils are infused with natural essential oils to create authentic seasonal scents that fill your home with holiday spirit all season long. Connect to nature this season.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. A hot, buttery treasure loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and sausage or bacon. And to top it off right now, they're just $1. $1? Now there's no reason to go somewhere else. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Over the weekend, about this fucking Aaron Rodgers of the NFL. I don't even know where to begin with that story. I mean, this fucking guy, I don't watch football. Sorry, I'm not a big fan. I know the guy's a real good football player. That's why they put up with his bullshit. If I ran the NFL...
He's going to be a Hall of Famer, so, yeah, you know that he's important to the franchise.
If I was the, if there was decency in this world, I would throw this guy out of the football league so fast what he did to his fellow teammates. And, bravo, Terry Bradshaw, for what you said, and everyone else who's got half a brain in this country. But this fucking guy, they should throw him out of the league so fast with the guy who crashed his car at 153 miles an hour. And some poor lady was walking her dog, and the dog and the lady burned up in his car because he hit him. And the last words out of her were just screams of pain from the fire. I mean, he's facing 40 years in jail. It should be a life sentence. I mean, he just essentially just killed someone.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop right there. I'll plug in a little bit more into it, but that's Howard Stern, guys, the king of all media, right? Yeah, bullshit. Guys, there was a time where, I liked Howard Stern's content. I appreciated his art of the business. But this guy, literally, guys, I don't understand how this guy still has a following. This is a dude that literally made himself fame from having women expose themselves and showing their private parts on the radio, right? Before he got into the Sirius satellite and all that, the Howard Stern show, literally earlier today, this morning actually, right, said that the Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers is a liar who put people in danger by claiming to be immunized, from COVID-19 when he was not vaccinated. Listen, since I will say this again, guys, since when do we have a fucking disease where it's going to dictate the rest of our lives, right? Why is it okay for women that choose to have a fucking abortion and not okay for people not to be vaccinated because it's their body, their choice, right? Does not apply to women? If they don't want to have a child and they have an abortion, that's their choice, right? Under the Constitution. See, we can't say anything bad about that, because if we say anything bad about that, we're looked at as a bad person. You're demonizing a woman because that's their right. Okay. What about a person's right not to be vaccinated? Aren't you demonizing somebody because they don't want to be vaccinated? Isn't that the same scenario, guys? It's your choice to have somebody jab you with a needle that we clearly don't know nothing about, What's in it? The CDC has made it clear that they haven't even explained to us what's in it. Listen to more of this jerk, man, on the Howard Stern. He's such a jerk, man. Listen to this. I mean, this is disgusting.
I'm immunized.
There's a lot of conversation around it, around the league, and a lot of guys who have made statements and not made statements, owners who made statements. There's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop right there. I apologize for the audio because I don't know what the hell it was. Bad clip, but I hope you heard some of it. Howard Stern literally saying that, Aaron Rodgers is a fucking liar who should be thrown out of the NFL. He should be thrown out of the NFL because he doesn't want to have he doesn't want to get vaccinated. Oh. So he should be out of the NFL because he's putting people in danger. No. The people that should be thrown out of anything are these political hacks that have been lying to us for the last year and a half, almost going on 2 years. Those are the people that should be kicked out of the damn country. If anything, they should be charged with tyranny for killing people. The vaccine literally is killing people. You don't believe me? Why don't you hear it from you-know-who, literally, Kamala Harris. She said it. Oh, you don't believe me? Let's plug this. Josh, producer Josh, plug this in. Oh, you got to hear this, guys.
Virtually every person who is in the hospital sick with COVID-19 right now is vaccinated. I'm going to repeat that. Virtually, it's a fact. Virtually every person who is in the hospital right now, sick with COVID-19, is vaccinated. And even more, regrettably, virtually every person who has recently died from COVID-19 was vaccinated. The loss, the tragedy of that loss. Literally every person who has died from COVID-19 that we have recently been seeing was vaccinated.
You don't say, huh, Kamala? Wow. Vice President Harris actually telling the truth for once. The Biden administration actually telling the truth for once. Bravo, bravo, Monsieur, bravo, 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 hey, bravo, right? Bravo. They're actually telling the truth for once. I wish they would do that on a daily basis, guys. Really. Really. I would literally love to hear them do that on a daily basis because we need that, folks. We need the truth. You ain't going to hear the truth on a lot of angles and scenarios from this radical left. I can tell you right now, guys, you're not going to hear it. With that being said, guys, I hope you liked today's podcast. Got into a lot of topics. But you know what? I do that for you, the people, because you deserve it. We, the people, deserve to hear political truth for once, right? And on this show, you're going to hear it. We're not CNN. We're not crooked MSNBC. We're none of those fake news networks. This is the Patriot Angle Podcast. If you like this episode, check me out on anchor.fm/The Patriot Angle. I'm also heard on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also follow me on my social media platforms. On Facebook, The Patriot Angle Podcast. On Instagram, Patriot_Angle_Unfiltered. You can check my shop out, my merchandise. That's literally selling by the minute. Very popular merchandise. PatriotUnfiltered.com. And soon we will be having our website, still in production. That website will be announced later this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and we'll see you tomorrow via audio podcast on Spotify, Google, and Apple, streaming live audio on the Twitch app, Download Twitch, guys. Check me out on Twitch. Okay? We will be doing that live stream on Twitch tomorrow, guys. I'll plug in the information on the social media pages on my Facebook page, the Patriot Angle Podcast. You check out that link, and it'll go you right. It'll be directed right to the Twitch channel. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Patriot Unfiltered Raw. You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.